Okay, y'all. So, ladies, let's talk. Let's talk. All right. So, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of or listened to Shera Seven. I think she was very blessed. She got a man who is old school. He is the provider. He provides her with her bills are paid. If she wants a manicure, here, baby, go get your nails done. He's a provider and he enjoys being put in a manly position of providing. She stays in her feminine energy and she don't have to fight him to get things taken care of. They're taken care of. Okay? And she encourages women to get a man who's a provider. The problem is they don't exist. Okay? She's asking for a pipe dream. She wants us to have a pipe dream. These men don't exist. And the ones who do are married. And if their wives are smart, she'll never leave him because she knows the other men out here don't do that. The only thing they want to do, and I've said it 100 times, the only thing they want to do is pull their pants down. Okay? Men aren't going to tell you how nasty they are. I'll tell you how nasty they are. Okay? All right? That's all they want to provide. They don't want to, you know, they don't want to be there for you in the proper way. They do not want to provide for you. They do not want you to be in your feminine energy and not be stressed out. They don't want to reduce your stress. They want to increase your stress. And anybody who doesn't make your life easier, and this is what I do agree with her on, a man is supposed to help make your life easier. Don't worry, baby, I got it. You ask him, y'all married. You ask him, I'm really worried about that bill. Did you put that in the mail or did you pay that? Yeah, I covered it. And he did cover it. He's not just lying. He actually covered it. A man is supposed to make your life easier. It's not supposed to be more stress, more stupid ass, silly ass, childish, dumbass arguments over stupid shit because he gets his dick hard arguing all the fucking time. Okay, because that's what toxic ass narcissists do. They got to fight, 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 nitpick, nitpick, nitpick. That's what the hell they do. And then they have the nerve to lie and gaslight by telling you, "I knew we weren't gonna get along today." He made sure you weren't gonna get along today. He made sure of it, so he could turn around and lie and act like it was you, when you know damn well it wasn't you because you were there the whole time. But if you fall for the okie doke, he knows he could keep on trying tricks like that, you know, over and over and over again. That is a good old-fashioned mentality. A man should make your life easy, like I said, I totally agree with that part. A man should make your life easier. A man should have you in your feminine energy and not worry about stuff. A man should definitely, make your life a lot easier. If you're going to be stressed with him in your life, he don't need to be in your life. That I 1000% agree with. But so far as that old school mentality, I'm going to swoop in, I'm going to be the man, I'm going to provide, and I'm going to protect my woman on top of that. They don't do that shit no more. She's lucky to have a guy like that. They want to provide wiener and headaches and arguments. They are ungodly. They do not have God in their life. And I don't care if they go to church every Sunday. They think they are God because most of them are narcissists. They're insecure little cockroaches. So to make themselves feel bigger and more powerful, they have to dominate other people and they strut around like, a peacock, when in reality, they're insecure as hell. They know they're insecure and they know they're insignificant. So they have to dominate somebody else. Every partner they have to dominate and micromanage. We've talked about that a lot because they feel small. So to feel bigger, they treat other people like absolute garbage. Except for other men. They kiss other men's asses. Women, they have no respect for if they are men. They got no respect for women and got the balls and the audacity to want women to spread for them, even though they hate women. You got more respect for men, go spread for them. You go spread for them. How's that? Spread your cheeks for a man. Because you don't like us anyway. And that is obvious. My God, that's obvious. I know someone who was in love with a woman back in the day, and she broke his heart in a million pieces, and she cheated on him, and he was notified that, your woman, she was doing some pretty slutty things. And they end up breaking up. But he was in love with her until that point. Probably will always have feelings for her, but obviously they can't be together because, she can't be trusted. And he's married, but he loves his wife, but he's not in love with her, because when men give their heart once and they get stomped, they generally, as a general rule, do not give their heart again, because they went through it once and they were vulnerable when they did it the first time and they got kicked in their face as a thank you. Women, on the other hand, I don't know what our problem is, but we just give everybody chances regardless of them not being worthy. We still give people chance after chance after chance. We don't stop dating. We continue to date dusty after dusty after dusty, because the majority of them are dusties. Okay? Majority of them are freaking dusties. So your chances of running across a dusty is pretty goddamn, it is going to happen. It's going to, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like that? Gets allergy problems. He starts snoring. You okay, babe? So yeah, they don't provide. Come on, that's laughable. Provide, protect. That's hilarious. And the people who do are married and they protect their wives. Now, and this is what I'm going to say. The guy that I know that's married, he loves his wife, but he's not in love with her. It doesn't matter, because she will always have a roof over her head. Her bills will be paid. She is in his will. The kids are in the will. They will be taken care of no matter what happens to him. They will always, always, always be taken care of. He protects her. He looks out for her. He does everything he can for her. I mean, for a guy who's not in love, he does all the proper things. He loves her, but he's not absolutely in love, head over heels in love. But he loves her as a person. But he still breaks his back for her. She don't want for shit. Her bills are paid. She don't have to worry about, babe, are we going to get our electric cut off? She don't got to worry about that. You kidding me? She ain't got to worry about that. She's taken care of. He looks out for his family. He protects his family. So if that's the best you could get, he's not in love with you, but he loves you as a person. He's not head over heels in love, but he still looks out for you. He's still a real man, because he does what he's supposed to do as the man of the family. He still does what he's supposed to do. But the majority of them, and he's in his 40s. He's not, he's not an older guy. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's a young guy, relatively young guy, and he steps up to the plate. And these dudes around here, come on now. And women contribute to men being babies. Can you write my resume for me? Can you help me get this job? Can you do my homework for me? He's in college and you're doing his homework for him. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you want a son? Or do you want a partner? Stop mothering. He went from his mama to you. A real man doesn't beg for his woman to do his goddamn freaking homework. You must be kidding me. Borrow money from his woman? Real men don't do that. You got him a car and got rid of his Steve Urkel glasses and got him a new wardrobe. He's your son. He is your son. He's not your partner. You need to raise something so bad. If you can't have no more kids, get you a puppy or something. If you got to take care of something so damn bad, you're not supposed to be taking care of no grown ass man. He's supposed to take care of you. If he need to borrow money so bad, he can ask his guy friend. You don't rely on your partner if you're a man. You don't freaking do that. Oh, babe, can I have some money? Are you kidding me? Men are not men anymore. There are only a handful of exceptions. They are babies. Goo goo gaga. And they need their partner / mommy to take care of them. Real men don't do that. Real men not only provide for you, they protect you. They protect you. Okay? He should take care of himself. He should go to school. He should get a good education and a good job and make good money. Do you honestly think all my doctors are married? I think all of them, mostly almost all doctors are married. Because they don't play stupid, retarded games when they're dating. They actually date with purpose. Anyway, do you honestly think that their wives, most of my doctors are male. You think their wives want for anything? They don't. They don't. Because she don't, unless she's a doctor too, she don't make nowhere near as much money as he does. But he gonna take care of his woman and the mother of his child. They gonna have a nice house and a nice car, and the bills will be paid. You're not gonna see any doctor, if it's a guy doctor, you're not gonna see him and his wife living in a beat down shack where the roof's about to fall off. Okay? Okay. You heard. You ain't gonna see that. They're going to have a nice house, and it might be a modest house. Maybe they don't want a $300,000 home or $1 million home. Maybe they don't want that. Maybe they want to live a more modest lifestyle, but they both have decent, really nice cars, really nice home, nice clothes. The bills are paid. He's going to take care of his family. That's what real men do. These fools out here, they're not real men. And we're going to go there. And then you have certain entities, and y'all can read in between the lines, certain entities that encourage men to change their fucking gender. So then what do men do? They do that. Or women would change their gender. That shit didn't happen until a certain person was in office, because he's married to a woman. I mean, a man, excuse me. He's married to a man perpetrating a woman. And let's get raw. Let's get raw, because you know me, I'm going to keep it real. If you don't like it, go down the hall to the left. There's a lot of fluff and bullshit over there. Okay? Over here, and we ain't playing that game. Barry is married to Michelle, but Michelle's real name is Michael Robinson. Because Michelle's mom, which is really Michael, said, I never had a daughter, I had a son. Okay. Now, y'all can believe what you want to believe, but I'm here to tell you. Okay? Michael never got his penis removed. However, Barry wanted you to get your penis removed. Y'all need to change your gender. Now, my husband, Barry's husband, Michael, is not going to have his wang removed. And you know how I know? Same way I told you before. Same thing I told you last time. Because if you look at Michael dancing on, the one that parades around as a woman, you look at him on Ellen DeGeneres show. He's wearing white pants. And you could see his wang hitting the front of his pants. Women are flat in the front. We could dance all day and shake our butt so hard we're about to break our pelvis. You will not see nothing hitting the front of the material. And the camera zooms in on it so you could see it. So he's not going to encourage his husband, parading as a woman, parading as his wife. He's not going to encourage Michael to remove his wangage, but you all need to remove yours and change to a different gender. That ain't never happened in the history of the United States of America. That ain't never fucking happened where we're going to change our goddamn gender. They ain't never fucking happened. And many of y'all have sat and accepted it like, well, that's the way life is. No, the fuck it ain't. That's the way it is because that bastard encouraged it. We ain't never had that shit in the history of our country where people just randomly change who the fuck they are. He persuaded people to do it, and they're so goddamn weak in the head that they were happy to do it. And he laughs his ass off because his husband ain't never did it. But you all need to do it. Let me put this little seed in your mind so you go, yeah, I've always been miserable with who I am. I'll change my gender. That's what I'll do. I hope God forgives you for that. I hope to God, all of y'all that have done it, I hope God forgives you for that. He made you the gender that you are because that's what he wanted you to be. Fucking ridiculous how people just worship and listen to anyone who's supposedly, quotation marks, a person of authority, and you're letting them ruin you. Oh, God, don't even get me on that topic. Too late. Anyway, I was not even planning to go there. Men don't protect and provide. They just don't. They don't come into your life and say, you know what, babe? I get paid Friday, and you said you wanted to get your nails done. Do you want to do it Friday? Do you want to see if they have an opening Friday or Saturday? These motherfuckers don't do that. They don't. I'm going to take you to dinner. I know there's a new restaurant that opened up. How would you like to go there? They don't fucking do that. They don't. They do not. They don't want to spend their money. They don't want to go to therapy. They don't want to get an education. They don't want to improve themselves. They don't want to volunteer so they can make a positive impact on their community. They don't want to do fuck all except throw their dick all up and down the state that they happen to live in. Like that's the magic freaking wand that makes problems disappear. That's the only thing these motherfuckers want to do. They do not want to. You know what? I'm going to tell you something else. And this is messed up the way it went down, but I'm impressed with the guy. Okay? I don't know how many years ago, a while back, there was a shooting in a movie theater. I'm sure you guys remember it. And men are obsessed with ass. We already know this, okay? Shooting in a movie theater. Everybody scrambling, hitting the floor and everything else. And one guy, I gotta take a minute because it's emotional. The bullets are flying, and he threw himself on top of his woman, and he saved his life and lost his own. And I remember thinking, because they're so goddamn obsessed with ass, I remember thinking, for once, it wasn't about ass. For once, for the first time in American history, it wasn't about ass. It was about, I don't want my baby to die. You think you're going to find a man like that nowadays? You must be smoking something. You must be smoking a pipe, you on crack or something, because they don't do that shit no more. And like I said, the men who do that, their asses are married and their wives ain't going no damn where. Because she knows when she found him, she found a gold mine. Because they don't damn do that. They're selfish pricks nowadays. It's all about me. And they bring nothing but misery to their partners. Now, these guys that are providers and they're strong and they would throw their body on top of their woman like this man did. He died a hero in my book. These guys don't exist. These guys do not exist. They are married. They are gay. They are taken. They are in long-term relationships. They are not out in the world single like a Pringle. They're not. They're not. I have lived in multiple different states. And I have yet to meet one. Now, I'm not saying I haven't had guy friends that were like that. I'm sure I have, but we weren't on that page. There was no chemistry. There was no anything like that. It just wasn't like that. Not saying it couldn't have blossomed into that. That just didn't happen. You can't make that happen. It has to happen on its own, right? But I've lived in many different states and I ain't never met one. I lived in Connecticut. I don't know if I can remember all the places I lived. I lived in Connecticut, New York, Baltimore, Maryland, North Carolina, Florida, and I think those are all the states I lived in. I visited the entire country for the most part, but those are the states I actually lived in. All of them on the, East Coast, with the exception of Missouri, obviously. And in any of those states, in all of those states, I never met one guy that was a protector and a provider. Never. Never. Not once. Never happened. To my knowledge. And it damn sure didn't happen where they were like, hey, I'd like to get to know you. They don't do that. Shera is lucky. Shera is blessed that she got a real man. They don't look. You're not going to find single men like that. You're just not. Anybody single will tell you that. She might even have girlfriends. She's single, but she got a girlfriend who has a husband. She's married, and her husband is a provider and a good man and would lay down his life for her. That's rare. That is absolutely rare. They don't do that. It's just not something they do. It's just not. It's sad, but it's true. I mean, so nobody can say, well, tranquility, it's because you're in Missouri. No, it's not. No, it's not, because I haven't been here all my life. I've been all up and down the East Coast. Married to someone who was emotionally dead. It's like being with a fucking corpse. And the second one is a malignant narcissist. I don't want to be with either one of those types anymore ever again. If I'm going to be married to a dead person, I could just go dig someone out of the cemetery. Shit. Which would be kind of stinky, but I'm just saying. I could get a goddamn statue. He'd have more emotions than guys I've ever met. And I'm talking emotions, positive emotions, not rage and calling women names and all that. I don't tolerate that shit, no way. You must be crazy. A man is supposed to enhance your life. He's supposed to bring you joy and pleasure, and I don't mean like that. Take the physical completely out of it, because I know where y'all's minds are going. I'm not talking about that at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm talking about a guy is supposed to enhance your life and make it better, not worse. And most of them are miserable with themselves, so they're going to make other people miserable. That's just the way they operate. Now, life isn't over. God may pop somebody in the head and tell them, you're going to act like you got some sense for the first time in your life, and you're going to meet a nice young lady, and here she is, and then I'm here. I'm standing there, and whatever. And he turns his life around, and he's a good person now, or he's always been a good person. That ain't happened yet. I'm not saying it'll never happen, but it hasn't happened yet. They're all about themselves. The world we live in is just disgusting. It's filled with selfish ass people that are all about me, me, me. They don't go above and beyond for you. They do not make a phone call when something happens to you. Hey, I heard what happened to you. Are you okay? They don't give a flying fuck. Okay? They don't care. And when you're disabled, you don't tell them that you're disabled. You don't freaking tell them until you are in a serious relationship 6 months to a year. Unless they happen to find out because you had an issue or something. But you don't freaking advertise that, because these bitches, these male bitches, they're not going to be there for you. They're all about themselves. So you got to look out for you, and you got to protect yourself. And you know what else? Since we're on the topic of dating when you're disabled or you get to know somebody, whatever, you don't tell them, number one, okay? You do not reveal that. If they happen to find out, then you can tell them, I have issues and this and that. But you've given them an opportunity to get to know you instead of judging off of, oh, this person's got a disability, I'm not dealing with that. But I know that guys don't give a shit about that. They will still try to get your legs open because, hey, that's just the way they are. They're dogs. But when I was honest and I did tell them, they revealed how empty they are and how obsessed with sex they are. And I remember telling one guy that I had issues, and he said, you could still fuck, right? This should be a wake-up call for guys too, because y'all guy friends maybe don't tell you how trashy they act with other women. They might try to perpetrate, especially if you're a decent guy. Your guy friends might pretend he's decent like you. I'm here to tell you, and women are here to tell you, they ain't fucking decent. They're disgusting. They have no class. They're desperate. They're disgusting. Someone's telling you they've got physical issues, permanent issues, and you're like, but you can still fuck, right? Because I'm disgusting anyway. Nasty. You're nothing but an STD spreader. That's what the fuck you are. And nobody wants to marry or be serious with something like that. It's disgusting. So, ladies, here's the bottom line. You gotta love and respect yourself, because these men are not going to do it. You gotta love and protect yourself. Okay? You've got to be in your own corner. If you have a disability, and if you want me to do a video pertaining to what it's like when you have a disability and you're dating, I can, because it can be complicated. And if you're with the wrong, you have, okay, so if you're disabled, here's the thing. You have a higher obligation to make sure that you don't get too stressed, because that stresses out your body and increases your pain. Okay, if you have a chronic pain condition. All women should get rid of a guy who's showing his ass right out the gate, talking to you crazy or whatever. Get rid of him. Because you do not want to be physically ill, headaches, stomach aches, your muscles are tight and all this other, because Satan danced into your life and is perpetrating that he's a good guy. Get rid of his ass. Because you're going to be lonely with him. You're going to be lonelier with him in your life. You're scared because you don't want to be alone, but you are alone because you're with Satan. Okay? Let me tell you this real quick before I go. This lady was married for a good while. They had a couple of kids, and one of her kids was a baby, real young. She fed him his dinner, and he puked everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Okay? All over himself. And she had asked, and this is the type of freaking stupid asses that we have out here today. Okay? She asked him a couple of days prior, can you unclog the tub? Well, he never did. So now she has to deal with she asked him, because the kid's got to have a bath now. There's puke everywhere. She asked him, do you think you could go up, go over there and fix it, because I've got to give him a bath. And you know what that jackass said? Oh, he don't need a bath tonight. It's just going to give him a chill. What? She said, I don't need to deal with any of your bullshit tonight. He needs to get a bath. And the other kids are looking at this exchange between their parents. He needs to have a bath. We don't got time for all that. He looked at her and said, fuck you. That was when she said, okay. She went ahead and bathed her son. She cleaned up all the puke, because he's not going to do it. Okay. She got her freshly washed kid. She sat in the chair with him and she's rocking him. She rocked him in the chair for about 3 hours. She said, I felt everything inside me shift. I don't want to be with him anymore. I'm no longer scared to leave him. I'm no longer scared. How am I going to make money? How am I going to come up with money for my own apartment? She said, I felt a complete shift. Everything switched. Everything changed. And I made up my mind. I'm not doing this no more. She saved enough money to get her own place. She got a job. Because I don't think she worked for a long time or whatever. She got a job. She divorced his ass and started her life over. Despite being scared and nervous, it gets so bad that the evil has done something to you and made you go, you know what? That's the last straw. I am done. That's it. Your determination will replace your fear. Let me say that again. Your determination will replace your fear. Do not stay with this fool because you got kids, because you're teaching your kids this is what love is supposed to look like. This is what mommy and daddies do to each other. We treat each other like absolute garbage. When you stay with your children, you are teaching them dysfunction. You don't want to do that. Okay? You don't want to do that. You get the hell up out of there. You get your ducks in a row and you do what you got to do. If you got to live in somebody's basement apartment for a while, you got to live in a studio apartment for a while, you do what the hell you got to damn do. Because it ain't going to get no better. And it's been getting worse for a long time. And now it's escalating to where your so-called spouse knows that the kids are looking and doesn't care. I'm going to abuse your mom right in front of your face because I'm the devil himself. Good, you could be the devil himself and get your ass divorced and you could take your life over there and I'm going to be over here and that's that. We're going to put a line right down the middle and all of this is done. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. For those of you who love your spouse, you would jump in front of a bullet for her. You would wrestle a grizzly bear for her. You would do anything in the world to protect your woman. You provide for her. She don't have to worry and stress about bills. You got this? My hat goes off to you. Make sure you never change. Make sure you never change. Responsible people don't all of a sudden become irresponsible. Either you're responsible or you're not. Now, if you're a irresponsible dumbass, you can learn to be a mature adult. It may take, I don't know what it's going to take. You may bottom out. You lose everything important to your life, and you realize I have to make choices. I have to make some better choices because my life is going downhill. Sometimes people got to lose everything to get a wake-up call. They got to get slapped real hard in the face with reality. And then they're like, shit. Okay. All right. Well, I got to make some changes. The way I've always done things is not working anymore. But those of you that are decent men and your woman, she don't want for nothing. I hope she loves you and I hope she respects you and I hope she appreciates everything you do because not every woman does. Some women are toxic and they run all over their man and their man would do anything in the world for them. So I hope to God that's not your situation if you are a good man. And if your woman is running all over you and treating you like shit, even though you do everything in the world for her, it's time for you to make some strong, solid changes in your life for the better. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Love you guys. Bye.